As I traveled the Wildcat, I felt secluded, as if I were nowhere near any civilization. Very peaceful. But I know that people have been using the Wildcat and surrounding land for a long time. We have roads, towns and cities, and we've drained wetlands and cut down forests to make room for crop farming. These activities are important for our modern lifestyle, but significantly impact the quantity and quality of water in the Wildcat Creek system. Similar to many small rivers in the Midwestern United States, the Wildcat Creek has been abused in the past. Although the Wildcat is a wonderful resource today, it hasn't always been this way. People and their use of the land near the creek have had lasting effects on the water and wildlife.
So there was a point when this stream was nothing but a toilet and trash dump. As a matter of fact, the city dump of the city of Kokomo, the actual designated city dump, was right on a mile-long section of Wildcat Creek, and they just dumped right into the creek.
People learn how to make new things before they learn how to deal with the waste. We actually didn't start getting environmental regulations until the late 60s and early 70s. So they had decades of operation before the things that they were doing were well enough understood, and the effects of what they were doing became well enough understood that we developed regulations to try to change the effects that were occurring.
We have come a long way from the days of using the river as a dumping site, but there is still work to be done. There are many federal, state, and local laws designed to protect our water resources. These laws regulate dumping and waste discharges, which are two common ways water becomes polluted. Still, much of the work of protecting natural resources depends on people disposing of waste properly. I had the opportunity to view an annual Wildcat Creek cleanup organized by the Wildcat Guardians. It was an interesting experience. I wondered, how did so much trash get into the river?
There are many old landfills that were not built with the landfill construction methods of today that are still out there contributing to this.
What happens is when we have floods, heavy rain activities, a lot of debris washes into the creek through drainage ditches and other tributaries. It's not so much people throwing stuff in the creek, but roadside litter eventually works its way into the creek. So we do a lot of maintenance work.
Do everyone a favor. Put trash in the trash can. Agriculture has the greatest impact on the Wildcat Creek watershed. About 95% of the watershed is used for agriculture.
The major pollutant to every stream in the Midwest is sediment. Whatever that might be that gets washed into the stream, whether it's just what you might call mud or dirt or anything else of that nature. Any aquatic biologist will tell you that is the major culprit out here. There are so many things that are being applied to the fields, but the agricultural industry is working on better ways to manage that. They're trying to come up with better chemicals to place on the fields that don't harm as much as they did in the past. So there's progress there.
Industry has also had a significant impact on the Wildcat Creek. An old steel mill in Kokomo, Indiana has had significant effects on the water quality and the wildlife around the Wildcat. In 1992, the state of Indiana started the process of repairing the damage and has made huge strides.
When I first came, the whole creek was reddish-brown, rust-colored. It just looked awful. It looked very damaged. There were PCBs, which are polychlorinated biphenyls. Before we started, depending on where you are in the creek, it could have been anywhere from 0 to 800 parts per million PCBs. Now that we've gone through and done the dredging, for measurement purposes, we divided the stream up into 6 segments. And now in each one of the 6 segments, the level of PCBs is less than 1.
And as you can see, the creek looks much better today.